Basically, for the learner, to start with, they're unconscious and incompetent, which means they don't know what they're going to do, so they can't do it. Once you inform them what they're going to do, they become aware of what they're going to do, they're conscious, but they still can't do it. With practice, they're conscious and they become competent. And then with more practice, they can do it without thinking. Which level do you think you want to be at?
The unconscious.
That's where you want to be. But when you get to there, you're the fine line from being back to there. Because the next step is then that confidence will start to clear off and you make mistakes. Well, that makes sense. And this one. Quick question for you. Because my job is all about listening skills. How many types of crossing are there?
Crossing.
We've got it wrong straight away. Because my job is all about listening. There's two types of crossing, level crossing and pedestrian crossing. I didn't say pedestrian crossings, I said crossings. It's a simple thing. I had a learner leave his driving instructor because he asked him that question. And when he said 2 level crossings, he called him thick. I said, no, there's 6 types of crossings. And basically it's because he'd worded his question incorrectly and he'd answered it rightly. Very quickly then, you should all get this. What are the 6 types of crossings? Pelican. Zebra.
Level.
Okay, that's a level crossing. How many types of pedestrian
Tricky.
I don't listen.
You've got pelican, zebra,
Subway.
school crossing,
Train.
puffin crossing, toucan crossing. Toucan means cyclists and pedestrians. Toucan cross. There's one other. I guarantee you won't get it, but you won't know the name of it. No.
Cattle.
What club are we in?
Chapter crossing.
Pegasus crossing. There's a crossing called the Pegasus
Is that
crossing.
horses only?
It's for horses, yeah.
That's it.
Basically, we have a button about 10 foot up and a button down there. They mainly down south across Bradwell ways.
Pegasus fly.
Well, it's a mythical horse, isn't it? You fly, not you. And I could go on all day, but has anybody got any questions?
Excellent, actually, really good. Really good. What's the score with fleet driving? Do you go in a classroom environment like you just done now?
Depends what people want.
And do you drive in their vehicles or do they have to go in?
Yeah, they do it in their vehicles. If you're going to do a fleet session, you do it in their vehicle because that's what they do. 9 times out of 10, they come to my car, then they'll be concentrating on. You want them to be relaxed in their own car, so you can then pick up on the faults they make.
Right.
To start with, they'll drive along and be as strict as anything. And after 10, 15 minutes, if they're being strict, that's when I'll start talking to them. Then they'll relax. Then they'll slip into the normal driving faults, that's when they'll start making the mistakes. And 9 times out of 10, I'll be honest with you, I usually do this with people, I write 2 things down before I do a fleet session of what they'll definitely do. And you know that they're always going to get too close to the car in front and they're going to drive too close to the centre line. Which you'll all think, well, why is that an error? Well, because on certain roads, you'll be coming up to especially right-hand bends, you're driving central, you get cars coming the other way doing the same, that's when you're cutting corner a little bit and you get loads of people getting too close on. Especially on country roads.
So what annoys me, do you know when you come to a junction and traffic's going that way, and you come up to turn right at the top of the junction, the lovely people that use my road to turn into the junction, that really annoys me.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I'm always right on the fucking line to make sure that they can't. Yeah.
What do because it's you.
Yeah, sorry.
You see something in your junction, well, Rob's here. But that will go down as a risk. As a risk. So with fleet training, you're looking for risks. Anything is totally different to learner driving. Anything that's a fault to a learner is irrelevant to a qualified driver because you're not teaching people to suck eggs. Yeah. So if you're driving that road one-handed, that's not a risk. But it's a risk if you start going around a bend that's too tricky to get round, and then you're oversteering, understeering, or you're hitting potholes and whatever. That's when it becomes a risk. That's when you're looking at safety for the person's car from the car. Any more?
I'm sure all 3 of us are absolutely intrigued to understand your comment about left and right drivers and
Right, the way it is with girls or women, the way the brain works, the left-hand side of the brain does the right-hand side of the well, with everybody, left-hand side of your brain does the right-hand side of your body, right-hand side of your brain does left-hand side of your body. With fellas, we only use one side of the brain all day long, which is left-hand side. So when it comes to driving, or general doing things, we then can do more than one thing at once. But in real life, we can't do more than one thing at once. I'll guarantee you, those fellas, if you're on phone ordering a takeaway, and your missus or your kids decide she wants to change her mind as to what she's ordering, I bet you've got to stop talking, and then reorder. If you're watching telly or reading paper and we get asked a question, we get a yeah or a no answer. And then we'll deny that we ever answered that question. Because we can't do them two things at once, where women and girls can. So you can be in the kitchen, ordering food, ironing, watching telly at the same time, and listening to us organising a sneaky drink with somebody at the same time. You can do that. But when you come to driving, because your signals are crossing over your body all day long, you then struggle to differentiate between left and right. Which is why, and then with girls when they're learning, when they're driving, I'll say to them, we're going left my way, ultimately they'll start taking the my way away. Then they'll just get used to the fact that the word left or the word right means check that mirror, indicate and go that way. What I then do with them is, I said to them, right, you're going to go your left and right now. If you then get, no, because they all know, most girls will say to you, I'm terrible with left and right. Then if you say to them, right, I bet if you tell me which way you're going now, that's when they struggle. Start thinking which way left and right is again. But it's only because our brains are wired up differently.
I was supposed to go with somebody and she was driving, so we go left or right, so like that. Left. Nearly killed us.
I always used to look for my wedding ring, and then when I got divorced, I'm bugging now.
I hope I've answered that question all right. It didn't sound like I reached
No, I was just winding you up because I drive obviously for a living up and down the UK, and I'm fine when I'm on my own because I don't have to think about anyone in the car up and down the road. But the Mick falls next to me, which completely winds me up anyway. The aggravates me when I drive. And if I've got my sat nav and I'm trying to guess where I'm going, I'll just say, he'll say turn left and I'll go, which way?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, and I'll just go into panic mode for some reason, and I'll just go that way, and he goes, is that left? And I go, that way! You know, and they're hitting me.
I think you need some sleep.
I had a girl give me some directions to pick her up from her work once instead of picking her up from home. She said, I'll text you directions from Burnley Football Club. And I were in Burnley that day and I thought, right, I'll just see if I can find the place. And I got nowhere near it. So I went back to Burnley Football Club and I turned the opposite way to every direction. And it took me straight there.
Did she pass?
She passed first time. Because on the day of the test, they concentrate that hard. They're in that zone because for that 40 minutes of your test, that's when it matters. So that's when you know, even you sort of ropey people, you're going to concentrate 100% of that time. And especially if you're motivating them well, then they will do. Thanks very much.